Is that better?
Hello. Okay, there we are. I think we are live. Hello, everybody. It is Beth Weinstein and Kate Crow. Hey, Kate, how are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yes, as usual, we're having like technology glitches, but we'll get this. So everybody, I just wanted to introduce you to one of my interview series guests, Kate, who's also a good friend of mine, and she's literally across the river, I think, right now, maybe not. So, Kate, tell people a little bit more about you. I know you're a really awesome life coach. You've been doing this longer than like 99% of the life coaches out there. Tell people a little bit quickly about like what it is that you do and what you offer and how you became a life coach.
Well, I think I came into life coaching because I needed a life change myself. And it was in a funny way, it was a blind jump about almost 20 years ago now that I look at it. It was in 2001. And yeah, it was. So what I do with people is I help them transform their lives. My method is called Shift It. So it's really about helping people to shift into confidence and trusting themselves so that they can, create their lives versus survive their lives. I think a lot of times that's what's happening is that people are surviving and they're not thriving. And so it's really about I really truly believe that every person knows exactly what will make them happy, but it's about having the courage to really stand for that and to stretch into that happiness. So
Mm.
we're talking today about how to be, have some freedom with time and to be an entrepreneur. And if that's what somebody's dream is, it's really about helping them to get clear and to get the roadblocks out of the way, which is why we're doing this fantastic summit in the first place.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love that you mentioned, courage, number one, and this whole idea of you're not meant to just survive life, because I know so many of us have been there, done that. I've totally done that. And, a lot of people I feel like me get this wake up call at some point in their life where they're like, is this it? Is this all there is to life? Like, I just go to this job that I hate and I really dream of something else, but I'm scared to do it. So, how do you suggest that people, really take steps? And I actually just posted about this last night that today is a full moon, and this particular full moon is all about transformation and changes, and sometimes the universe even doing it for you, like things getting shaken up. And but what do you say to someone who's scared to death, who just doesn't have a bone of courage in them, but knows deep inside, like one day they want to have freedom, or one day they want to change careers completely, or whatever it is?
Yeah, I would say the time is now. Like if you're getting called to do it, or I think that if you're getting in my language, if you're getting squeezed by the universe and you're not happy and you're you know that's happening for a reason. And uh, it's about, yeah, this concept of bravery. It's like one small step, one small step, one small step. I talked to a client this morning, and I said, are you ready to what are you doing today to shift out of, she's been really feeling victimized by the circumstances and external forces of her life. And so what was one thing that she could do, and to step into what I said, the new order. And she was like, well, what do you mean? And a phrase I use all the time in my coaching is a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, the person that you're destined to be is the person you decide to be.
Mm.
So if our listeners are interested in, if you've been in a job like you did with your corporate job, you did it for a long time, kind of went through the mud on that one, and then you decided, okay, what if I want to try something new? And that's that place that Ralph Waldo Emerson is talking about, that place of decision of like, what might be out there. So if you're getting squeezed, it's, to me, it's really an indication that something deep inside of you knows that you really want to do something different. So it's about heeding that call to action. And
Mm.
as coaches, what we do with people is that we help them to believe in themselves and to have that courage, one step at a time. So maybe it's just tuning into, the different interviews that you're presenting and gifting these people, people who are listening to hear something that they need to do. And then it's just one small step, one small step, one small step.
Yeah, yeah. And I agree with you completely, really staying in the present step. And it's interesting. I just spent this weekend at this, transformational weekend. And it was amazing how many people were talking about this problem of not being able to get a job or ageism. Like, I actually have a client who's only 49 and dealing with, like, I'm not getting work, but then deep inside, part of the process is figuring out that she actually doesn't want the work. It's just really hard to admit that. Her dream is to publish a book that she's already halfway through. So I keep saying, I'm like, well, it kind of seems like the universe is showing you this. And there's a reason why, also energetically, if you're not aligned with, if your heart's not aligned with that work, there's a reason why you're not getting it. I was like, you probably go on interviews and, like, they just feel your, they feel your energy through it, right? Yeah, like disgruntled or kind of just like over it. And same thing with the weekend. There were two other people that were talking about, like, I can't get this and no, but I don't even want to do it anyways, but I need money. And, there's this back and forth conversation. And I know this is one of the biggest issues, is that, everybody gets stuck in the whole, well, what do I do about money thing?
That's a great question, though. I mean, I think that, for me, like, when I was becoming a coach, I had a job where I didn't love it, but I really held it as a means to an end. And what I found was, like, some amazing people in my life came from that period. So I believe that one can work for money and just have it be work for money, while still finding meaning and depth in other areas of our life. So for me, that job became a means to an end. Meaning I would use, it was utterly boring, the actual work of it. What I loved was, of course, I was, like, greeting people, and it's kind of like a receptionist of a sort. But it, like I said, the people I met, and then the actual time that it permitted me to invest in studying how to be a coach, and the efforts that I needed to do in order to get to my actual dream of that. And then when I finally was certified and passed to, do that, I took a jump, but it was a calculated jump. I think I've just been writing on this morning, how to live in the land of and, capital A-N-D. So I maybe have this job that I take for money, whether it's I'm a barista and I love, serving fabulous coffee for people, or I'm doing XYZ so that I can do this other thing. So I have time and I don't have to take my job home. But it's really, as you know, as we coach, it's like how we are about what we're doing is absolutely everything. If you're cleaning the bathroom and you hate cleaning the bathroom, you want to focus on how great is it going to be when you get into the tub and it's super clean, and you look around and you're like, yeah, it's fabulous. And I did that, so it's how we are about what we're doing will make a big difference.
Yeah, I love that. And it's interesting because this has come up with, with myself when I started my first business. I was working 3 consulting gigs at the same time, and yeah, it was kind of not ideal, and it was a little haphazard, and they all ran out of money eventually. But it was the same thing. I actually, throughout my whole entire career, every single job I had, because I knew I always wanted a business since I was a kid, and every job I had, I knew that it was just teaching me something. I knew there would be a reason why I was doing it. But I always had that and one day. And then when I got closer to it, it was like, okay, I'm just going to work these jobs until I get to the point where I can just go for it. And I did. I got to that point where it was like now or never. And it's the same thing with this client of mine who's writing this book. And I'm friends with someone else who's helping her on the book. And supposedly, she has this potential to be a huge bestseller. I mean, she's she is very talented. And I was like, what about just getting some job where you get some money and you just have a lot of free time? And like, yeah, I mean, I've said this to other clients. I'm like, you like health food, go work at Whole Foods, at least you get a discount.
Or you like children and you want to, you've had experience in life, be a nanny. I mean, it's like there's so many, and then look, I think the piece for me about the and is just look for it as a benefit. Like we're living in a world of such dichotomy, right, wrong, good, bad. And if you take out those meanings of some, like that it's not supposed to be this way, and instead live in the world of like, no, I'm doing this as a means to an end. It becomes so much better, and you have again that sense of control, that sense of meaning. So the things that we know, all the studies have shown that the things that make people happy, truly happy, is meaning. So we go back to the beginning of this conversation, right? Where you were saying, what is it that will make you happy? What will give you a sense of purpose? What's the deepest meaning that you can go for in your life that will make a difference? And I think that, so if money is what's holding you back, think of ways that you can pull in money in different ways, get creative.
Yeah.
And that you're living in that world of and in that moment of like, I do this and I'm really doing this. But have pride in the fact that you've actually figured it out, I think.
Yeah.
Getting creative. Like,
I love that. And because I was sitting there thinking, like, I know what stops my current client, because she's a PhD, Harvard, top schools in the country, and had great jobs. And a lot of it's this ego of like, well, I can't go work there, and I'm like, there's some amazing places, and there's amazing opportunities. Like, I'm all about, okay, there's the internet now, right? You can create a whole entire freelance business doing whatever it is you want, and there's a market for everything right now. And, even I've had a client, take up extra, just take up Uber, like Uber driving just to pay for, so-and-so. And it's, you know what, honestly, I'm like, there's some magic in those jobs too. You never know who you're going to meet. It's, a lot of interaction with people, so you're not isolated. There's great benefits in some of them. So, it is just a lot of ego. And I get it.
It's like, it's the judgment. It's the idea of like, oh, this isn't the way it's supposed to be, when actually, if you're actually in the space of creating and it's not, hell, it's a great story. If nothing else, if like, this is what I did when I really wanted to do this. So I think it's really about trying to move out of the space of, it's not supposed to be this way, and actually saying and declaring it is this way and I'm proud of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. This is such great advice, and there's so much. Like, if you look at some of the greatest, success stories in the world, everybody started somewhere. Everybody had this moment. I mean, I can tell you numerous times where I'm like, oh, I did this, I did that, I did what I could, and, to make things happen. But, always had my eye on that future, always had my eye on the mission and the deeper goal. Like you said, like, I was studying to become a coach, studying, I always tell people, put money into your business, right? Earn money so you can put money in your business, or else it's, then you're really never going to go anywhere. So, I really love all this that you're teaching. Now, I'm just curious, I know you probably work with a lot of clients in this. Like, what's the number one tip for people who are, going through major life changes? Like, what do you suggest to people? Like, if there's one thing someone could do, that small step today, because I know it's, it's not even just about career and entrepreneurship. It's literally like life. And I feel like, right now there's so many transitions, every other person I talk to is like making major changes. And to me, it's the state of the world. And to me, I love it. I think it's beautiful, but I know it freaks the hell out of a lot of people. But, is there one tip you can give people to take out of this?
Well, I would say two things. I mean, the first one is honestly to write down, start to like allow yourself the process of dreaming. Write down, like, for instance, the woman who's writing the book, or, write down, what is it that, in the ideal world, that connect to your why about what you want. Why is it that you want it? what is it that, and not that I want to change the world with my writing, but my words affect people, and I reduce suffering, and it makes me feel my life full of meaning, or whatever it is. Like, so find the words. It's just write it in a paragraph about why it's important to you, and what you're really connecting to in your deepest desires, because that actually will then keep you in the game when you are not, when you're feeling hopeless about it. Like, so I think that's the first thing. And then the second thing, I know it's going to sound weird, exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so
I would die without exercise.
What?
I said I would die without exercise.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps this morning, I was just not feeling it. And it's dark in the morning. I have to exercise in the morning, but I got up and I went to the gym and I listened to, a podcast. And then I had a great conversation with one of my girlfriends, and I walked my dogs, and then I was ready to play and start, really working, and all that before 9 o'clock. I definitely think shift your energy. So the two things: one, focus your energy in the sense of, like, what is it that I want? Why is it important to me? It can be even, I want money. Okay, great. Write it down. Like, don't be ashamed of that part. It's okay to have, I want financial freedom. And again, that big, beautiful word. And I want to, like, connect to why it's meaningful to you. And then the second part is, don't underestimate the need to get out into nature or just to sweat for 30 minutes, because boy, does that make a difference to our mindset.
So big. I know. And it's there's this catch-22, and I know because I suffer from it a lot. Like, I've been really busy with this interview series. So about 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, a week and a half ago, I went like 3 days in a row without really moving very much. And oh my God, my energy, like, I just became mean and unhappy and burnt out. And and I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. And then I just know myself, and I'm like, you know what? I actually need to take time off and go for a hike or go for a run, or, put the effort in to make it to yoga class. So I agree. And everybody, it's like this, it's the same thing I always say about meditation. Like, we think we don't have time for it, but it actually will give you more time.
100%. 100%. It's so worth the shift. I mean, that's what it is. And so, with one more thing about being an entrepreneur is, like, really, are you willing to go the distance for yourself and for what you're doing? And let's not sugarcoat it, people. It's like, sometimes I think having a 9 to 5 job would probably be, I mean, I'm always in my business, but I like it. I mean, that's the problem, is I'm in it because I like it, and it's not. And I think that's the distinction. It's like, follow your desire, and understand that, you're for me, being an entrepreneur means I'm going the long haul and the long dance. And so, I know that it goes up and it goes down. And that's when, the tool of certainly exercising and shifting my energy makes a big difference.
Oh yeah. The ups and downs are so real. I wrote an email about it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, like, I mean, for the, like, 99% of the time, it's like the best thing I've ever done. But that 1% where I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, wow, your cushy corporate job just seems so nice right now.
Well, it's reliable. Let's put it that way. Like, you're going to get the it's like, it can be that way. But
yeah,
it's so funny. I once almost took an office space. Within a month, less than a month, I realized I can't do this. It's just not me. And there you have it. It's okay. I realized that was a big costly mistake, but it was a good mistake for me to see, like, okay, I can really call myself an entrepreneur.
Yeah. It's so funny. I technically have a desk, and I haven't seen the actual desk in like 3 months. I'm like, I should really just get rid of that desk. But yes, I hear you. It's so funny. Then this has been so good. I really hope people are watching and really get something out of this. I mean, this is what I posted about yesterday. It's like, there's changes happening, and even, like, you feel like you're in a secure corporate job, but I meet a new person pretty much every day who's like, oh, my job is kind of phasing out, or my company's going under, or, like they just don't want to pay me and there's younger people to come in. And, things are changing and we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm all about, what, even if you keep your job now, if you're starting on this path of, following your heart and doing something else that really lights you up, like, take that small step now. And if you take tiny steps, like one day, if the job isn't there anymore, it won't matter because you're gonna have this other thing lined up. So this has been really helpful. Thank you so much, Kate. And tell people a little bit more about where to find you and anything you have coming up besides your interview and my series.
Well, let's see. I think I'm working on, uh, eventually in January, I'll begin a group. So, but right now I'm just doing your interview series and loving that. And people can reach me at www.katecrow.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate. This was really good to talk to you. I think the technology has worked out okay. I see that people have commented and viewed, so that's good. And I really appreciate it. And everybody, you can join in the True Path Entrepreneur series at truepathentrepreneur.com. Kate's interview is coming up, I think early next week. I actually have to let you know about it, but it's soon. It's coming up soon, and you'll get a more in-depth conversation and so much knowledge, plus her free gift. Okay. Thank you, Kate. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. I guarantee it.
Sounds great.
Okay, have a good one. Bye.
Bye, Beth.